Good afternoon, traders. This is AJ of Awesomecalls Trading. Good afternoon. It is around 11:30 Pacific Coast time on February 21st. Um, pretty interesting day today, and I have to before I begin, I would like to share the ZSAN trade. This was one that Raphael came in this morning and shared the news with us. And this stock it's just been on a tear. But more or less, what I like to do on ZSAN is really, especially when you run a large chat room like we do, is really just explain to traders why I'm entering a stock, what I'm looking for, and why I feel the stock is going. And if you follow me on AJ Trader 7, you'll see my entries. I will let you know I'm going long. I'll let you know what I see before it even happens. And one of the things that we really look at when you're trading a stock like this is the historic of the stock first. Is it a former runner? What is the float? What's the volume pre-market at the open as well? Has it rotated? Because then you have new set prices as the stock moves up. And so I went back a year, and these were the pinpoints that you had to first get through, which was right around here, around the 4 spot. And then as you drive it further down, um, you can see that these are your next areas right here. Um, hence why we're calling the 5 spot, 490, and then 5. And now, once that we broke through, which is one of the reasons that I started to really like the stock at I believe it was $4.20. I really started to get aggressive with it, is because I saw the potential of hitting this spot here at 530. And once 530 comes, you have a huge gap to fill. Then sky's the limit. And the stock is traded almost what? She's let me see, 30 million shares, 40 million shares. Let me double check how many. Yeah, stock is traded 60 million shares already. Now, it is pretty evident they're going to do an ATM with 60 million shares. I mean, at $4, they could pull out 20 million shares and not really affect the stock. Probably 25 million offering at 4 will give them $100 million. So this is going to be an amazing payday for ZSAN. Long overdue, and I bet they can wipe out a lot of their debt and so forth. But right now, the stock is still running. If they do not do an offering after the close, they are going to look to fill this gap tomorrow. And this gap is $8.26. And then you have room to 11. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see that tomorrow if they don't do an offering, because then it'll drive the stock go crazy tomorrow. And I think they shouldn't. I think they should just leave it alone, knowing they could probably get another ton of shares going on that. So, but we will see. Everything is kind of speculating right now. I have traded this, I believe, 2 or 3 times live in the room. I cannot trade it again right now. One, I'm doing a webinar, but two, I have rules I try to stand by, and I don't like to go back into a stock after I've made money on it 2 times, 3 times. Obviously, at ICPT, on my 5th time, it nipped me in the butt, which is why I'm in it again to get all my money back. But ZSAN came along and really paid the bills for me, so I was really impressed with that. One of the things you have to look for, not only is pricing what to look for, especially when a formal runner with volume. Volume is really a big key, but what you want to look for is the buyers. I really emphasize looking at buyers, and Raphael was really good around this 420 range. He spotted a buyer coming in, and I concurred with him. Right here, you see this buyer here on this candle? He came in at 764,000, bought another 400. He bought 1 million shares right here. You see it? I'll show it to you. You see this? These 2 candles right here and in here. Now this buyer buying about 1 million, 1.5 million, he's not looking to play this stock for 50 cents. And this is why I went long at 422. And I took, halfway decent size, because I see this buyer, I follow the money. This buyer told me he's not going to play for 50. He's looking for a point or 2 or more. And that tells me I can at least make a point on the trade. I really eye these buyers. And this is a really big size. And this is what I really look for to tell a room what I think the stock will do based on this buyer. So When Raphael said big buyer come in, I verified it and I said, yeah, I agree. A million, I think it was 1,000,002 buyer came in 1,000,003, and he just swallowed it up on an open market. And so now if you look at the stock from that buyer at that level, and he just wallowed it up. You see that? Now, I do think the stock continues to go after hours. You have potential to run to 8 and then probably pull in the morning unless they do an offering. The key thing is if they don't do one after hours, um, they may try to just do 100 million shares on this between today and tomorrow, and then they can pull in 25 million shares at 4 and make $100 million. But right now, what also I like to look for, and why I'm spending so much time too, is the short trapping. Right here is really a nice consolidation. This is really important when you're setting your risk reward. When you see for the first 30 minutes to an hour how it's consolidating, you're looking at the range. It's like a flag. You see how like right now, you see up here how it's consolidating here between $6 and 6.50. See how it's just building up volume and consolidating? The market makers have a nice wall right here. So this is again like, let's say you came in the afternoon, you wanted to make a trade. So you buy 350, 400 shares, and you say, okay, what is my risk? Your risk is right here, 580, 570. So you have to risk 50 cents at this point if you want to go long. That would tell you that, okay, if I risk 50 cents, what can I get on the upside? Well, you have room clearly to $7 and $8 a share if this gap gets filled. And so this tells a trader coming in the risk reward on the trade. So if I go 350 shares, I risk 175 on the downside, or I can make $1 on the upside and make $350, $400. That is correct. Okay. So, and then you want to just kind of eyeball that on the trapping and how it's consolidating. And this is what you call a bullish flag, where stock is gearing up for a nice move. And if we get another buyer in here, he'll tap 650, consolidate a little bit, and then just run. You see how he's trying to push here? Watch that 650 touch. That's going to be your key, and then we'll break through high of the day. If it does that while I'm still doing the webinar, then I'll point it out to you. But you see the consolidation? And this is also where shorts get really trapped. They'll sit there and load up and tell you, I think it's going to break because it pulled 2 or 3 times. But in reality, it's not, and they're putting the positions, and then they put the risk of 10, 15 cents because market makers know that the standard day trader has a range of 10 to 15 cents before it gets shaken out. And so this is why in our room, we really kind of give a better and a more of an open range to explain what they're trying to do and how they're manipulating the stock and how they're really taking your money. And if you are a trader starting new and risking 10, 20 cents, this is not for you because you're not understanding how the stock is being played out, all right, or what to look for. So if this is new to you, then it's good just to watch how it plays out. But in my opinion, based on what I see here, I see a 650 pop, all right, a little bit of a push, consolidate, and then zip to 7. Because why? Huge gap to fill. It's no man's land right here. Okay? Big gap to fill. So we'll see how it plays out. All right. So that is Zizan today from the great Raphael. I want to thank him very much for presenting this trade to our room. And that's why he is amazing. Okay. So I want to share with Zizan. And then I want to give a nice trade today from our great Jenny Moore. This gentleman is just, hands down, one of the most gifted traders that we get to trade with, every day. And he's here in pre-market helping traders, finding trades, ideas. But this trade here, this was amazing. He came in this morning and he watched it pop at the open, Molina Healthcare, and he just felt it was just up too much. Based on what he saw, he felt that the stock would probably most likely gap fill and come down on a run that I don't even believe this had earnings. It just ran. And with the market pulling down most of the day, he was able to call for the topping of the stock, and he went short this one, I believe, in the room around 141.75, 142, stops at high of the day. And he just took it all the way down. And this is a 5-point trade on the downside, and you have to give props where they're due. No question what he did. AJ, Z-Cent just broke. Okay, so there it goes. It broke out. You see how? There you go. So now, again, if you were in our room, now I tell you to move your stops up to 620 or 630. Take a piece on the way up on the pop, right? Move your stops to 610, right around here, 620. Now your risk reward becomes even better. Now you've already been rewarded, so now you move up your risk and you take half of your position. Now you can clearly see the stock has momentum towards the 7 spot, and they're still continuing to buy the stock. If you want to trade this, I'm letting my members know in the room since I'm live doing this. Traders, if you want to keep position on this, quarter position at the end of the day. In case they do an offering, it will pull 2 points to the downside on the offering, so be careful with that. They're already at 62 million shares. So, okay. So you don't want to have a full position overnight. That's a no-no. All right. And shorts, you want to be careful because if they don't do an offering, you're going to rip in the morning. And we're not even done yet, so we don't even know if it'll go to 8. Anyway, MOH was a great trade. Another one was this morning was Jack. I don't know if you're familiar with Jack in the Box, but Jack had really good earnings after the bell yesterday, right here. And so this morning I put it on our list to short at around the 83 spot on Jack, right here. And I said let it squeeze a little bit more if it pops and look for the stock to come all the way down to 79.50. And that was really the goal on Jack, was to come down to 79.50. And I want you to see the stock and how it worked out. And there's the 83 short with room to add at the open if it did pop. And the stock came down to, well, let's just say $78 a share. I wanted $79.50. Conference call came, and he just really kind of blew it right there and said something that just really scared the investors, and they dumped it. So that was pretty cool. That was a nice trade. Jack. Another one that we did today was, I believe it was, we had Jack, NTS, Domino's Pizza was a really nice one too. Tesla, we've been bouncing. CBLK turned out to be cool too. This was a really nice play. It was a small play. We wanted to pop at the open towards 14. We didn't get it. Pre-market gave us 13.67. It's had an earnings play on it. But what we liked about it is pre-market notes, we said it bounced off to 12.60. And it was able to capture around 50, 60 cents on that bounce. And now it's sitting there at around 12.50. So, and I do think it'll probably come up a little bit tomorrow on that one. So it was an easy, effortless trade. The next one that we did was Domino's Pizza. I like Domino's Pizza in pre-market before the call came, and then once the call came, we wanted to go long. So I wanted Domino's to go long at the 256 level. You could see that it missed on earnings and guidance. And Domino's Pizza tends to get bought up on weakness. So I wanted everyone in pre-market to take some long and look for, really wanted 265 on it, but it didn't quite get there. So we got a nice play off of 250, I think it was 256 this morning, all the way towards 262. And then kind of just, you could see how it just kind of found support up there and just said, okay, we're not going to go up higher than that. So then I said, okay, let's short into the call, and then we can go long off the bottom. And you could see clearly that this 250, 260, 251 level was really a nice hold. And what I liked about it is we had a trader in the room, Brandy, who's an annual subscriber. She spotted it out around the 250, 150, 252 and saw the buyer come in right here and asked if she can go long. I agreed with her and concurred and told her to take the stock to 255, and the stock hit 255.80. She was very pleased with this trade. She scored over 3 points, and she was very patient on the way up. And this is what we do in Awesomecalls Trading. Once we spot, if a client asks and it's on our list, and Brandy likes to play what we put on our list, and so when she comes in every day, it's so hard to sit on my hands, although it is a powerful feeling to have self-control and not be greedy. We never know keep it in our hand. Yeah, keep your money for sure. So we had a new monthly subscriber that came in, and she's excited. Her name is Debbie, and she signed up this morning and made all of her money today, if not more so. But anyway, really great trade and great call by Brandy. I was really proud of her for spotting this out, and Darkside really helped in it as well. He was on the mic and guiding her while I was on break, and the stock did exactly what he and I wanted, and Brandy made bank. So it was a good trade. Domino's Pizza. So we got CSAN, MOH from Janny, Domino's Pizza, CBL Jack. I wanted to share with you Garmin this morning. Garmin I put on our list yesterday. Just it made an incredible run. It really did. You could see yesterday just how the earnings were just really awesome. But I told everyone I'd like to short it for today. And I was really trying to get to that 79.80 level. And I put it on pre-market notes to short the stock. It was a big win for a lot, but we just didn't get the full amount we wanted. But I did put it right here. Garmin, I wanted to take the stock, and I wanted 79 on it, but it's already gapping down. And I saw a neutral call on it, so I told traders, go ahead and take short. And if it does back up to 83, add into it, but look for a 79 on it. So a lot of traders, when they did, is they waited, they got in the morning, and they loved Garmin from yesterday because they couldn't nail the short. So today was their day to get in there. And what they did is they waited for the pop at the open, which is what we wanted. We wanted to fill that gap back up here. If you can see, this is where it closed. So I said, just if it fills the gap, just go in short right around 83 versus that, already being down one, and just look for that sell-off. And this was the short today on it. I mean, just traders just banked. It was a really, really nice, effortless trade to the downside. So that was GMRN. Okay. And then the next trade that we did was Netflix. This was a well thought out play this morning. Market was gapping down. We had some numbers out this morning. And on this one, I wanted you to start shorting at $361 a share. I told everyone it will pop at the open. So if it does, look for that 361 to start. Probably fat finger to 362, 363, add into it, and look for just an absolutely stellar fade off on the market. And I think I was calling 355 on it. I'll show you the call and the trade itself. Netflix should sell off today. Start short 361, add in any pop, and it will come down to 355 and under. 355 and under. It should be nice, easy money. When I say that, I really truly mean easy money. And so if you look at this stock, how I set it up for everyone in the room, I'll show you the entry. And here is Netflix. Here is the entry at 361. Add on any pop, scale in short, and there is right there. The stock came down to 355. And you could cover. It actually came lower. So if you took 100 shares, you were easily in it for $600 with 30,000 buying power for your first trade of the day. And that took all of about 35, 40 minutes. And why? Well, I looked at the market. I looked at the numbers that were posted. I saw that the market was pulling. I felt that any gap push at the open. And you know what? It wasn't just that. I mean, it was NVIDIA. You could have done the same thing. I mean, that wasn't hard, especially in the first opening. I mean, you could have took Facebook. Again, same play. I mean, I don't really have to tell a lot of the traders to go to those. I just show Netflix, and typically Fang follows. I mean, you can go Amazon. I mean, it's the same play on Amazon. It's not popping here. Hold on. There it is. Amazon. See, same chart format. And there's a lot of rooms that play the same crap over and over and over and over, and they don't play earnings or they don't play anything else. This is kind of like their world. And for us, it's just another trade. I mean, it's just, hey, if you want to take Netflix, then follow the rest. All right, so that was a good one there. And then I do have to share a trade when I lose. I think it's only fair and fitting. I took about just under $1,500, $1,600 hit this morning on ICPT. This was over $160 right here, and I can't, for the phantom of me, can't figure out why it's selling off. I'm sorry. I've been trading for 15 years, and I'm a pretty damn good trader, but this one smacked me in the face, and I, I'm predicting an offering. Um, but this sell-off is, and then Citi comes in and gives us an upgrade this morning to $140, and the stock just, all it does is sell off today, another 10 more points. So I'm in it on a swing right now with about a 92 average. I did tell the chat room I will add at 90. I did get a pop towards 96 today that pretty much almost recouped almost half of my money back, but I didn't take it because I thought it had room to 98. And so basically I've had to be patient with it. So, but if it hits 90 and under, I will be a buyer and add into it and just swing it. This kind of really reminds me of Shop, and I went through the same thing on Shop. And Shop was one of those that came all the way down. I'll show you the stock. Shop got destroyed on an offering right here, and the offering was 154. Right there was the offering when it came out, and the stock just literally dumped to about 120 and under. And if you had bought the calls on it to go back at least to the 150 once it filled, the stock ran all the way to $185 a share. Just sometimes these stocks they do crazy shit. I mean, and I'm in a crazy shit trade that again I have to understand it. I have to learn from it, but this is what makes me a better trader. So you can never be a leader until you lose. I mean, you need to understand sometimes these stocks. And one thing I'm very proud of is I didn't take size. And I had already played it, I believe, 3 or 4 times live in the room. But I ended up giving all that money back to it because I believe I went long. I started in yesterday, I think right here at the 106 area, and I added, and it just kept pulling, and it still continued. And you could see just looking at the chart that even on a 10-dayer, I mean, you could see the support levels that it has, and it just broke every kind of support. So I'm waiting to see if an ATM is coming, and this has multiple upgrades across the board on price targets. It came out with a phase 3 positive, and it has done nothing but dump since, and I can't figure it out. So if I add it to 90 or 89, have an average of 91, I'm thinking I can get at least a 95, 98 bounce on it. So, and if I'm wrong, well, it won't be the first time. I've been trading for a long, long time, but it's not often I take a hit on a stock. Usually I'm more patient, but this thing is just really, thank goodness Zsan came along because I just just went over there and just started buying the stock, and I did very well on it. So, but it angers me that I traded a stock like that and lost because it's not like me. And we did some overnights on our earnings report, and I'll share with those to you before I go. I think they were pretty impressive. We did, let's start with Hormel. We went short. The stock pulled to 41. That was the call yesterday to short at 43.10. Stock came down to 41.40. So that was a big win. The next one we did was, hold on, I got it right here. I took short that one, and then I took short, where is it? PWR, I believe. I took short PWR, and I went short at $36, and I think it was 71 cents. And stock pulled all the way to 35, so this was another earnings win. So that's 2 for 2. And the next one that we did was fine, but this one I covered in the morning before it actually went up, and the numbers were mixed. and but I covered pre-market, right, I believe it was here at 37, and I got out before it took off in pre-market. Yeah, it was right here. I think it was $37, and then I got out. So I did that. And then last but not least was GoGo. And GoGo I did sell a little bit after hours because it did make a move to 450, 440. And then this morning I was able to get out of it pretty much even on the rest of it and on the pop. GoGo had a lot of option calls to go to the upside, but turned out their earnings were not that good. And that was it. So I guess given it was probably 2 for 2, 2 for 4. But if you waited at the pre-market open, you still would have banked on Find and GoGo. You know, I was in it at 424. So, and I took a few up here yesterday after hours at the 440 range, and then this morning just kind of sold it around like 430, just under 430, and got out of it. That was it. So anyway, thank you for joining us today at Awesome Calls Trading. I hope to see you tomorrow. Should be a really fun-filled day. Again, this is our pre-market list. We do it every day. I'm up at 3:30, 4 o'clock every single day, 5 days a week. And I do the homework, research, and I try to find you the absolute best plays out there and try to teach you, educate you along the way. If you want to join us on Discord, we are growing. We're almost to 800 on Discord. You're invited to come. 798 members. We're almost to 800. We're trying to be at 1,000 within the next 30 days. And I want to thank also the dozen or so subscribers in the last 3 days to the room. It's been really nice. And if you ever want to listen to our daily nightcap on our webinars, our great administrator Sergio puts them together. We usually average about 80 to 90 reviews now a night, which is really nice. I did 164 reviews on this is a really good webinar here. And I think the ZSAM will get a lot of attention as well. So, and this is our YouTube is Awesome Calls Trading, and all these are free, and they go through tons and tons and tons of stuff for you to listen to. Okay, on our daily webinar. Thank you very much for being a part of this great recap, and I hope you learned a lot. And I look forward to trading with you tomorrow. Take care and be well. Thank you.